Third Eye Awakening Vetto. So we've looked into Gul'dan and I'll give my thoughts on him, and out of the two, as I've mentioned, Gul'dan will probably be the better choice. Now, Third Eye Awakening Vetto, he is a green tank, and with him being a green tank, probably not exactly one of the best tanks in the game, unfortunately. So, I mean, the way he's kind of working is he works off from his ultimate, and then that falls in line with him being able to absorb a decent amount of damage. If he does lose HP, then that works in his favor to then allow him his skill 1 to do more damage. It's kind of like a bit of a line on how his skills are meant to be used and worked. So let's just kind of get Gul'dan going, support Vetto, because why not? I mean, realistically I should have given it to Fana, but then that's completely fine, because Vetto is kind of like a bit of an offensive tank, if you want to call him that. So get some damage going. Oh, I got the wrong gear set on Fana. God damn it. Okay, it is what it is. Anyway, so coming back to Vetto. So the way he pretty much works is that this second skill piles on a ton of buff for the man. I do have his Greymore, by the way. So from his Greymore, I am getting a 7% endurance and a 5% crit resistance. And then from that, his skill 2 then now gives me Fortify level 2, which is 29% right there, which is nice. But the second skill, pretty much in a nutshell, is giving me a HP recovery of 15% of a max HP. If I get the skill to level 4, I can get an extra 5%, so the HP recovery would be 20% of my max HP. But more importantly, the body enhancement buff, so I'm getting 115% defense along with 30% endurance. If I choose to max out his second skill completely, I can get that 100% defense to 145%, I'm pretty sure. And so with that, it is the ultimate that is the seller, because the ultimate applies enhanced taunt. And what enhanced taunt is that if the enemy targets me and attacks me, which clearly they have to because they are taunted, with the enhanced taunt I restore 10% of my max HP. So as they're trying to do damage, I'm kind of combating that, because as they're doing damage, I'm also healing at the same exact time. It's pretty OP, I will say. I don't know if there's any other character that we've seen that have this, but unfortunately there is a 40% chance that this is going to hit, so I'm going to have to hope and pray that it does hit. Now, of course, if you do work on the ultimate, you can get it to 70% chance to inflict enhanced taunt. It's AoE, so if there's multiple enemies, you could get the chance to inflict it onto multiple enemies, and in that case that's going to work perfectly for Vetto. So what I will do is I'll come back again, because I do want to actually do I want to run it right now? Alright, Vetto, can you please apply the enhanced taunt? There we go. Woohoo! So it's only on for 2 turns, but you guys can see right here, as I'm getting attacked, I'm healing. So the amount of damage that the boss did was nowhere enough to actually hurt us, because we healed back 12k. So keep in mind, it's 10% of my max HP I'm recovering. On the second skill, it's 15%, but if I worked on it to level 4, then I can get it to 20% of my max HP that I'm going to be recovering. So that's pretty much how that's working. And so now that I've got the enhanced taunt applied, what I can do is then I can apply the second skill, and then if I lose any HP, then that will work in my favor for my first skill to do damage. Or you can go about applying the second skill, so that way you've got the defense and endurance already up. You then apply the enhanced taunt, and then you can go from there. That's kind of like the mix-up on how things are working with this Vetto, but pretty simple on how Vetto is actually working. Again, as I've mentioned, a bit of a selfish tank. Unfortunately, not exactly a good tank if we're comparing him to the other tanks that we have, because realistically, he's just kind of focused on himself. That's pretty much it. Vetto is just all on his own, just being that selfish tank. And from a tank perspective, from what we've seen with, like, I don't know, Mars, Radis, Asta, Meriliona, etc., they really are helping out the team whilst providing a lot more as an individual character, right? Holding their own while supporting the team. Vetto doesn't unfortunately do that. I don't think Vetto has any type of immunity block or status block, anything like that. He doesn't really provide anything for the team either. And when it comes to offensive tanks, well, we've got Black Asta, Meriliona is coming along. It just puts this Vetto in such a terrible position to where things are now. And with global, you know, I would say that, oh, him dropping on global, with where global is at, it's a-okay. No, that's not the case. I do believe for this Vetto, he might be coming in like B rank when it comes to global, if I'm being completely honest. It really depends on if they'll do some type of seller for the characters when it comes to providing those additional rate ups, because as it stands, the gold rate up might be going towards gold rate if they add this. I don't know if they will, but if they do, and then the gear rate might be going to Vetto. So legit, people, like, if that is the case, like low-key, people are just going to go for Vetto because of the gear rate, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Also keep in mind, with his unique passive, he does have immortality play. Cool. And then his LR passives is kind of, I don't like it. LR plus 2, basically he gets 3% damage reduction for each active debuff present on the enemy, and then on LR plus 5 it goes to 7%. So I guess if the enemy has a ton of debuffs, then you're chilling. If not, then it is what it is. So that's kind of the LR passives on how it's working for Vetto. Don't know what to make of it. I'm not really a big fan of it, but it is what it is. But yeah, I should also mention his combination skill does have magic attack reduction at level 5. So that's something to take note of. Right, that's something. But overall, Vetto, or should I say the Third Eye Awakening Vetto, I do like the enhanced taunt. I will admit I am a big fan of that, but unfortunately as a tank and with how his kit is built, it's not going to be as useful as people would think it would be. So I think it's going to be a bit of a pass. I do believe you might have some fun out of it when it comes to PvP potentially, but I'm not too sure about how PvP. I'm going to go over here so that way you guys can, well, hopefully see the enhanced taunt popping off on multiple enemies, of course. So I'm just going to kind of stack up on the barriers, because why not? Keep the main man alive. Obviously I haven't got the speed gear set. I mean, I'll do the on the build showcase after. But pretty much, again, so the ultimate is AoE, which is this is the big plus side for Vetto himself, being able to apply, or potentially able to apply the enhanced taunt on multiple enemies. So beautiful. We got it on 2. So right now, as you guys can see, we're combating the damage that is being dealt. That is kind of like the biggest thing for him. And then as we're going along, and as they'll be attacking Vetto, even if the enemy is doing it in an AoE, no, sorry, the enemy has to be taunted, my bad. So if this character right here decided to do an attack, then we won't heal from it. And then what I can do for Vetto is just make him even more of a braver problem, is just kind of buff myself up. And again, we are just tanking and we're healing way too much. Well, I wouldn't say way too much, but in proportion of the damage that we're taking, we're healing greater. So our HP is a-okay. Vetto is going to be here for quite some time. But outside of that, that's pretty much Vetto in a nutshell, if I'm being completely honest with you boys. There's nothing more to him. It really is the enhanced taunt that is the biggest seller. So overall, in most situations, I wouldn't really advise bringing Vetto or using Vetto. That's just the truth of the matter. But look, he's introduced it to us, this enhancement taunt. I would love to see this enhanced taunt on a future character. But as of right now, with the Third Eye Awakening Vetto, it's just going to be a bit of a miss, if I'm being completely honest. Alright, enhanced taunt. Hey, we got it. Okay, cool. Alrighty, you guys. Well, I think that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it for my boy Vetto. I think what I will do is I will probably work on his level 5 skill, just for the sake of PvP, because I do, I'll admit, I faced this Vetto a while back, like a long time ago, on PvP, and the enhanced taunt and the heal back that he was getting was pretty OP, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I say that on PvP you might be able to make some magic happen with this Vetto, but again, he's outdated, clearly. Now that you got Black Star playing around, this Vetto is not going to be upholding. But yeah, especially with where tanks are at and with what's to come with future tanks, he's just not advisable to be used or taken. Yeah, he's a bench warmer. And it's unfortunate to say, but it's the goddamn truth. But yeah, I do hope that in the future we do get more characters that have enhanced taunt, because I do believe that this is absolutely broken. But if we can get a character with a more updated kit, then I think there'll be a lot more success and a lot more fun to have. It's just unfortunate with what they've done with my boy Vetto. He has no immunity, like nothing for the team. He's just full on selfish. Yeah, and so with that, there hasn't really been much scenarios where this is kind of needed outside of maybe going and picking Mereoleona or Radis, you know, when it comes to the green defenders.